Kain.
Hi! Magandang umaga, mga kaibigan. Oras ng paggising. Gumising na kayo, magsisama kayo sa akin. Dito, sa isang silogan, dito sa Pilipinas. Kumusta po? Dito tayo guys, sa harap ng silogan, sa barangay Pembo. Pembo, katulad ng ano ko dito. Kaya tara na, subukan natin yung pagkain nila at maibahagi natin yung magagandang balita ng pagkain pang Pinoy. Did you guys hear that okay? We're here guys, in front of Garage Food Stop. Now you may remember, we've eaten at a garage before, Gorahe Burgers, which was absolutely fantastic. So I was walking in the barangay, and I saw these guys. It's a Sunday morning here, guys, so it's a very slow, relaxed morning. Not too many places are open this early. It's 6 a.m. I'm awake. Some of Manila is awake. But let's try this out. I was really hoping to get some Tapsilog here. So let's give it a try and rate it 1 through 10. But you can see here, guys, they've got sizzling, liempo, pork chop, Hungarian, burger steak, pusit, silog, inihaw, which currently is not available. Hello! Tapsilog. Pwede kong subukan? Subukan or sabukin?
Subukan.
Sabukan. Anong ibig sabihin ng sabukin? Wala?
It's a challenge.
Ay talaga?
Yes, subukin
Kung
challenge.
susubukin kita, yung ibig sabihin is parang talaga, gagamitin ko yan mamaya sa gabi. Siguro susubukan ko yung tapsilog nyo. Tapos, ano pa ba yung inumin nyo? Ay, pwedeng isang Mountain Dew?
Yes.
O sige, yun na lang sa akin. Ate said earlier, when I asked if it was okay if I filmed here, she said she doesn't want to be on camera. Which, sometimes they say, yes, they want to be on camera. Sometimes they say no. And you know, we respect everybody's wishes. So, this is her Silogan. They've been here for just over a year. They've changed places 3 times because you know that seems to be the thing to do if you're just trying to find like a good location for your restaurant. That seems to be the thing to do if you're trying to just like figure out the best location for your restaurant. So I was hoping to interview her and just get a little bit of her backstory, like why they opened a restaurant, where the inspiration came from. But that's okay. She doesn't want to be on camera, so we will respect their wishes. Ayaw kong, parang sabihin nito, mai-puwersa. Ayaw kong puwersahin. I don't want to force. Tama ba yun? Let's get a better angle though, guys. Actually, let's go outside and I'll show you guys the streets here. The streets of Philippines are so lively, even in the early AM. As you can see, there are people going back and forth. There's people at work. There's a guy selling buko. So here, this Silogan is on Barangay Pembo, malapit sa Jacinto Street, sa barangay. So we are not in Barangay Pembo, we're in Barangay Rizal, guys. Pasensya talaga, I'm so embarrassed. This little girl's just staring at me. I love it because vlogging here in the Philippines is such a different experience than vlogging in the US, where, and I had the same opinion. I think that's why a lot of people who would like to vlog or would just like to create content in general in America, it's almost, I wouldn't say it's looked down on, but it's parang hindi pinagmamura. Tama ba yun? Is that the right word for look down? Like to kind of put down? But in the States, it's kind of seen as like not really a career. It's kind of like a thing that you do if you don't want to get a real job. Which is crazy because it's such a huge industry. And before I started getting into content creation, I kind of had the same opinion where I thought it's just something that you do if you don't want to have a real job. It's something you do on the side. There's, you know, a handful of influencers that make a lot of money, a lot of money. And then the rest of, ay wow, ang balis, no? Salamat po. Thank you, ah. Wow, guys. This is perfectly cooked. I'm so excited for this. This is gorgeous, by the way. 10 out of 10 on presentation. Kayo po yung head chef? Ay, hindi. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. These locally owned carinderias like this Silogan, which is in Tagalog. It's such I love learning Tagalog and just languages other than English that I grew up with, because when you have to learn the language, the difference between growing up and speaking a language is you just learn to say things because you hear other people saying it and it sounds correct and you just go with it. But when you learn another language, especially as an adult, and you learn all of the grammar rules and when to use words, when not to use words, I feel like you become much more appreciative of the linguistic aspect, the linguistic beauty, let's call it. So if I wanted to turn, this is a place obviously that sells silog meals, and for those that are unfamiliar with silog, any meal, you can basically turn any meal into a silog meal by adding an egg, which is the itlog, the fried rice, which is the sinangag, and then some kind of protein. So this is tapa? Tapa, yeah, it's tapa, right? So we have tapa, which is a meat from the Spanish tapas, and then fried rice and an egg. So you have tap, si from sinangag, and itlog, tapsilog. And this is a tapsilog, but you can have any kind of silog. You can have liempo silog. You can have bang silog, which is a bangus fish with fried rice and an egg. But it's just such a simple meal. So anyway, so if I wanted to take a place that sells silog meals and I wanted to turn it into a location, you just add the I think it's called the locative, I'm forgetting all my grammar rules. But when you add an AN onto things in Tagalog, it turns it into a location. So Silogan. So it becomes a place that sells silog, which I think is pretty cool. And of course we have our free soup, which comes with pretty much almost every meal in a carinderia. We have our Mountain Dew, which, as you guys know, I don't drink a lot of soda, but I love Diet Mountain Dew in the States, and I wish they had it here. Wow. Perfecto. The perfect pour. Tamang tama. Oh, it's so good. My silog is my one thing that I absolutely love. It is officially Christmas here in the Philippines, and I woke up this morning in the Airbnb tower. They were playing Christmas music, and then right next door there's some karaoke going on. They're singing karaoke. So guys, let's give this a try. From Garage Food Stop here in Barangay Rizal. Woo! I think this is Siningang. I get so confused with siningag and sinigang. Sinigang baboy. So this is sinigang. It's like the sour soup. Very refreshing. This is siningag, fried rice. The NG is very important. So let's give this a try, guys. I'm very excited. This looks super delicious. I'm gonna try a little bit of this fried rice first and just get a taste test. So that's pretty delicious fried rice, guys. It's got the garlic taste, the bawang. Let's try some of this tapsilog. It's like sweet, juicy. Oh, that's just perfect meat. And of course, the egg is absolutely perfect. It's a little runny, as you can see. We're gonna flip that over and break it, so we get all of that delicious yolk. I wonder what is yolk sa Tagalog. And then we've got these tomatoes here, guys. These tomates. Let's give this a real quick taste test here. Garage Food Stop Tapsilog. It's just a perfect meal. This is just such a great meal, guys. And some of the other places that I passed along the way that I wanted to try, it was super busy outside. There was one place I wanted to try that had a line out the door. And I was like, well, obviously this place is popular, but I didn't want to bother everybody else with my camera. and my makulit na personality. Yung kaugalian kong makulit. Maybe one of these days we'll try to find a karinderya with some karaoke music. The big issue with music that we've discovered on my channel is that you can have music in the background and you're not even like trying to like have it on the video, it's just there. And YouTube will give you a copyright strike because the music's in the background. So luckily these microphones do a good job in post editing where we can kind of lower the tone or lower the volume and make it so you almost don't hear the music, but it's really tough. So there's been a couple of times where we have what I thought was great footage. Like for example, at the Garahe Burgers that I ate at a few months ago in Mandaluyong, absolutely delicious hamburgers. But they had really loud music playing on the speakers and we had to do like such magical editing to make the music not be heard because it was all like top radio hits. So it's definitely gonna give us a copyright strike. That's so good, guys. And with the tomatoes, I love eating this with tomatoes because, one, while I'm doing these vlogs, eating at karinderyas 3 to 4 times a day can get pretty unhealthy, especially when you have, how do you say this? Mataas na dugo. High blood. May high blood ako. So I've got to be really careful when I'm not eating at a karinderya. I'm drinking lots of water. I'm eating vegetables. I'm not snacking on high saturated fat stuff. It's very, very lean. And plus, I'm walking 10 to 15 kilometers every day in search of the right karinderyas. I heard a foreigner, another foreigner who vlogs in the Philippines, they eat at karinderyas as well, and they keep pronouncing it karinderya. No, not even like that. It's like karinderya, and I want to like shake them through the camera, through their video, and say that's how you pronounce it. But I can't blame them because Tagalog is a difficult language to learn for English speakers. So as long as they're getting the word right, even if they're mispronouncing it, like my hat's off to them. Which my hat should be off right now. How's that, guys? There we go. I'm trying to get better. Ugh. See, this is why I wear a hat. I'm trying to get better at taking my hat off when I'm eating at restaurants. One, because it's the tradition, it's customary. And two, it's a sign of respect. So I'm going to try to get better. Thank you guys for making me be held responsible in the comments. I love the taste of Mountain Dew. I used to run cross country in high school. I started off wrestling in junior high, 8th grade. I was terrible at it. 9th grade, I made varsity. 10th grade, I was varsity wrestling, but it was very, very difficult, very, very taxing on the body. And part of the wrestling training was that we would have to run a lot for endurance. So I started running 3, 4, 5 miles a day. And then the cross-country coach came to the, wrestling room. Because in the off-season, when it wasn't wrestling season, our wrestling coach expected us to train either in the weight room or to play another sport to stay in shape. So a lot of the different coaches for like the football team, the basketball team, the cross-country team, they would come and talk to the wrestlers and say, hey, if you guys aren't training, come try us out. Because each team in high schools in America, the funding for that team that comes from the school's budget is determined by how many students are playing. So he came and talked to us. Coach, what was his name? Coach Stoffer was my wrestling coach. Coach, it was a girl's name as his last name. I think it was Coach Leslie. But anyway, it was so funny. He has a PhD in teaching, and he never wanted to become like administration. So he decided to just teach his classes and then coach the cross country team. So kept it very, very simple. Anyway, he came and I was interested, so I went out and I tried out and I ran an 18-minute 3-mile, which is pretty good. It's not great in cross country, but that's a 6-minute mile, 3 miles in a row. That was back when I was 60 pounds lighter. There's no way I could run a 6-minute mile today. And so I started running cross country. I completely forgot why I started telling you guys this story. I got sidetracked with all the traffic and the Tapsilog sitting in front of me. Wrestling, sports, eating unhealthy food. I can't remember for the life of me. I'll have to I'm gonna kick myself in the head when I go back and watch this video and try to figure out what I was talking about to you guys. Guys, what were we talking about? This is the problem with old age. Mispronouncing carinderia, staying in shape. Anyway, when I'm not eating at the carinderia, I'm trying to eat my vegetables, have a couple pieces of fruit. I'm walking a lot. And then when I'm not here in the Philippines creating content, back home I go to the gym every day, try to lift weights. And then I'm trying to get back into running, even though it's a little bit harder when you're 60 pounds heavier than when you were 25 years ago, when you were in high school. And it's really tough, guys, when you have food like this sitting in front of you. They're singing "I Wish You a Merry Christmas" next door. I absolutely am so glad that I'm here for the transition into Christmas. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Also, I wanted to see how much this costs. Ooh, sour. Ate, magkano po ba yan ito sa akin? 100, sabi mo? Sige lang, magbayad tayo. Okay. So guys, they have a pretty comprehensive Silog meal. Okay guys, so for the full meal, she said it was 100 pesos. So we have 100.
Thank you.
200. 300. 400. 500. So ito ate, galing sa mga follower ko, sinesuportahan nila ako sa pamamagitan ng pera na gano'n. Tapos ipapasa ko yung pera sa mga carinderia staff, restaurant owners, para tulong galing sa mga follower ko para sa inyo. Kaya. So guys, it's on Floraville Street, Barangay Rizal. So give him a try if you're in the area. It's absolutely delicious. The Tapsilog is fantastic. And hanggang sa susunod guys, ako si Kuya Kurt. Maraming salamat sa pagsama niyo dito sa vlog. Kita-kits. It's so funny guys. I wish Ate said she was fine being on camera because her face when we gave her her tip, she was like, oh, why more? And then her kapatid na babae came out from the kitchen and started clapping every time I was giving them a bill. So I love being able to do that. I love that you guys enjoy watching these videos because honestly, it's just so fantastic for me. I get to... Makano ba yung grapes?
240.
240?
Sa kilo.
Ay, sa kilo? Gano'ng kalaki yung 1 kilo? Tapos anong grape sa Tagalog?
Ovas.
Ovas?
Ovas.
Tapos yung ovas kapag tuyo na, pasas.
Pasas.
Tama ba yun? Magkano ba yung ganito?
50.
Okay pa kung ipakita ko sa camera? Kasi vlogger ako ng pagkain pang Pinoy. Talagang Filipino grapes ito.
Filipino grape.
Anong ibig sabihin ng tumpok?
Tumpok.
Ito?
Tumpok, oo.
Anong ibig sabihin?
Yung nakaano na siya.
Pag
Yan, na ganyan na.
parang siguro yung isang ganito sa akin.
Sa ganyan.
Magkano po yun?
50.
50.
Ito na.
Ayun, ito yung pinakamasarap. May pangalan kayo ng grape cart nyo? May pangalan ng cart? Meron ba?
Ganyan lang yan.
Ginito lang? Anong pangalan nyo? Louie. May 500 sa inyo.
Thank you.
Para may blessings. Kasi Pasko na, di ba? Sige, thank you ha.
Thank you.
Ingat kayo.
Pagkain.
Ha?
Pagkain ng pagkain.
Ay, galing no. May gusto nyong sabihin sa mga follower ko? Ay, kung gusto nyong panoorin yung vlog, ito yung vlog ko. Tagalog ko lang tawag.
Thank you.
Sige, thank you ha. Ingat kayo. Alright guys, we got some grapes. It's a snack on while we walk back to the Airbnb, but we're pretty far away. I walked for like probably like 30 minutes until I found the Garage Burger, because it's tough trying to find a carinderia that like meets my requirements, because the only things that I require for a carinderia is that it's locally owned, so the people working in the carinderia are the owners, because I feel like if you're a carinderia owner and you earn enough income to hire employees, then you're probably doing pretty well. And I'm fine, you know, featuring carinderias like that, but I'd much rather, you know, provide exposure on my vlog to carinderias that are either brand new or maybe they're struggling a little bit. So hopefully featuring them can help, you know, get some business coming in the door. So some of the requirements is that it's locally owned and that it has a place to sit, because I've tried eating at carinderias where you're standing up, and it's just really difficult to vlog and do that while you're standing. So there needs to be a place to sit. And then the third one is that it's not super maingay area, so it's kind of like a little bit more calm and peaceful. So I was walking for like 30 minutes this morning trying to find some carinderias that meet those requirements, and it gets hard. It gets hard when you're walking through the barangay, and a lot of times I just have to stop and ask people. I'm like, hey, do you know of a locally owned small mom and pop carinderia? I'm not quite sure how to say, if there's a translation for mom and pop. Like, alam niyo yung ibig sabihin ng mom and pop, di ba? It's like small, locally owned. The people working in the location are the owners. So I don't know if there's like a direct translation to Tagalog that I can use. But usually I have to explain myself and say I'm a food vlogger. I'm trying to find like a local restaurant where I can eat and, you know, feature them on my vlog. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, it was about a 30-minute walk to find this one. So we're gonna head back to the Airbnb, recharge the phone. I gotta change my shirt. We're gonna have some grapes, guys. I'm so grateful you guys are, I'm so grateful you guys are here watching the vlog. Hopefully you enjoy it. I'm always grateful for everyone's support, the kind comments, the sharing to Facebook and Instagram, the likes, the interactions. Some of you choose to donate through the YouTube channel where you can give money on the comments called super comments. I'm not asking anyone to do that, but if you do, I'm very, very grateful. And the tips like we just gave to Ate are the tips coming from you. So thank you guys for supporting those local businesses. So anyway, guys, we're gonna walk around. Actually, maybe we'll take a detour. So I should probably pull out Google Maps and try to find my way back. But here is Barangay Rizal at 7 a.m. dito sa Pilipinas. And also, thank you guys for correcting my pronunciation of the Philippines. I kept saying Pilipinas, which is not the correct pronunciation. Pilipinas. Dito sa Pilipinas. Okay guys, hanggang sa susunod. Ako si Kuya Kurt. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining. See you on the next one. Kita kits.